Why are you talking when we're live? Why? They're not very funny, but we've just gone live on YouTube, and the first words people heard us, I can't wait to go swimming tomorrow. I can't wait, I'm going to put my little speedos on, and I'm going to jump in the deep end. I got to slide.
Have you messed around with the comments on OBS?
Why?
The blue.
Yeah, I have, to make them look sharper. They were white, but the comments, I haven't messed around with the YouTube ones. What have you done to them?
It must
you broke them?
Must be the new update.
Right, you sort them out then while we talk.
I'll sort them out.
You sort them out then.
Classic Ned.
It's classic Ned. I mean, you're finding out things after we've gone live.
I don't know.
You treat this place like John Stones treated Everton. You do. You treat it like this is a rehearsal for some kind of big job you're going to get in the future. You're doing Croy turns in our box at the moment.
Just to get them out your system.
And what you should be doing is just getting the ball down the pitch.
Whoa.
What have you done? What have you done?
Coding isn't.
I don't know. You get in the comments. You just get on the comments.
David Anthony says hello from China.
From China? What are you doing in China? I need more news. I need more.
Everton Girl says the Newcastle takeover going through confirms the Premier League is a disgrace.
I don't really want
to
know about the Premier League, the Newcastle takeover. Let's just ignore it. Let's just put our fingers in our ears and go.
I'm still not convinced, to be honest, but we'll see. Yeah. Cheers, boys, from SoCal Evertonian, says Matt DeVies.
What's this about Americans getting all the Everton gear in Dick's Sporting Goods?
Yeah.
What's all this going on? First we get a shop in Belfast. Now we're going to be in Dick's. Next you may reveal that you can just walk into any sports shop on the high street and buy an Everton shirt in England.
That would be something.
That would be unbelievable.
Gary Ward says, howdy. Stuart Thompson says, hello all. Day 7 of coronavirus lockdown. I still feel awful.
Who's that from?
Stewie Thompson.
I didn't know you had corona, Stewie Thompson.
Thank God I had the vaccine jabs. Oh, Lord knows how bad that'd be.
Yeah.
Get well soon, mate. Loads of fluid. Stay warm.
Do you know what I am really sad about?
What?
Disney shop is shutting in town on Friday.
Is it? Yeah.
Devastated.
Forever?
Forever. Devastating news. Devastating news.
That's a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah. They shut all the shops in the UK apart from one in London.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. Where am I going to go now?
Why?
Where I can walk in and just find a random Disney song from a movie on, I can just sing along with it.
I don't.
Anywhere else is inappropriate.
Not enough.
Don't you want to go going online? It's not the same, though, is it?
Of course, yeah.
How many times have you just gone into town with with your lads and just gone to the Disney shop and just had a little mooch about?
I mean, I'll be honest, never.
I mean, that you've reduced his childhood in many ways.
Well, you say that.
You can just go in and go little moments of like.
No.
I
have been in a Disney
We haven't been to
shop
Disney for a while, but we're just going to go to the shop.
Yeah. I'll make it feel.
It's
like
quite similar.
Make us feel.
Feels similar. Get you in the mood, though.
George, I'm not disputing it. Georgie Redden says, "Let's have it."
I mean,
let's
have what? Let's have what?
RCO2 said,
"Let's have our new t-shirts."
This Diaz transfer defo off, or do you think we'll go back in and get told he's too much? I mean, they're two very definitive statements, aren't they? Or questions. Why would it be definitely off? Is the first thing. Because I don't think any transfer is definitely off until he's gone somewhere else. Secondly, do I think we'll go in and be told he's too much money? I don't know. I honestly don't know. No idea. Depends what Porto want for him. I asked Shai went to Liverpool there last week, didn't he? In Champions League.
Yeah.
And I asked him what Diaz was like.
He said
he never noticed him. That's all game.
It's not a good start, is it?
I mean, I need to check that he played. But I did ask him that. He was like, oh, don't know, never noticed him. Because he was linked with Liverpool last week as well, wasn't he, Diaz? Lawson just says...
Been linked with Barcelona as well?
Yeah. Not going there, well. The other fella's there, is he?
Apparently he's going to be gone soon and Tingle's taking over, isn't he?
Big Bobby?
No.
Xavi? Has he agreed to it now?
Apparently.
Interesting. Georgie says, I know a lot of the fan base aren't keen on Marcel, but managers, players, or not the guys, got us some shrewd deals. managers, players or not, the guy has got us some shrewd deals, says Georgie, in terms of brands.
Well, we did a video yesterday on Patreon, and there's going to be another video tomorrow on Patreon about brands and Benitez is like relationship. So if you're on Patreon, catch them. Very good videos.
Do you think realistically Everton would get safe standing in a couple of years? Would absolutely love it, but the club always seems behind in things like this. I think what Georgie's alluding to is, will we install safe standing at Goodison Park?
I don't think they will. I think they're missing a massive trick by not bringing in safe standing, just ahead of Bramley Moor, because it's going to be in Bramley Moor. I also think 2 years is still a long time. 2 seasons is still a long time. And they can come and say, well, what's the point? Well, what was the point in doing the lounges for a couple of years?
Start before you buy.
Exactly. So the same with Bramley Moor. Same with the safe standing at Goodison. Makes the atmosphere better. You know, people are always critical of the atmosphere at Goodison Park, always. People have asked us for years.
How would you do it, though?
I think what you'd have to do is you'd have to get the end. So the end clip near to the Bullens, and you'd have to get the wedge at the end and put it in on that wedge. And it wouldn't be, listen, we know it wouldn't be a lot of people sitting there. No. It would be where the originals were. And you'd say to that...
GT8.
You'd say to... Well, that's where they were.
No, I know.
And
I
you'd
don't know whether you could get
have
it
at that end. And you would take it... And listen, it might lower capacity a little bit.
It would.
But I just think you've got to do it. I think you've got to do it. Listen, people could say, well, you put it in the middle. But I don't think that's... I think that what that would have to do is... that would move a lot of people from their seats. Whereas I think GT8 would be a little bit different. So
I don't know if they could do in GT8.
I think if there's a will, there's a way. I don't think there's a will. So
okay.
What about in? I'm gonna say the only other place you could probably do it. There's 2 other places you could probably do it.
Those comments look horrific.
Yeah, you can't see those comments.
I can see it, but
can we have them white, please?
You can't see them on screens.
Can we have them white, please? The only other places you could possibly do it are in the paddock, family enclosure. But I don't think they do them either in those 2 places.
No.
But you could do that there because there's a walkway behind them. Because there's a walkway behind both, you wouldn't be stopping anyone's view.
Stopping a view.
So
yeah.
you could maybe do, let's say, the family enclosure or the paddock, Gladys Street end.
Gladys Street end.
Let's say the final 2 blocks of it.
Full season tickets.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's the only way you could do it. But the club, I doubt will go through the rigmarole because they just probably can't be asked. Yeah. But I think we're missing a massive trick because all the other clubs will have done it.
Yeah. Paddy B says the old Disney shop on Church Street was better than the Liverpool 1-1.
It was bigger. It was in Clayton Square, wasn't it? It wasn't in Church Street. It was in Clayton Square. The original Disney shop.
Neil B says, does Big Dunk and Rafa get on?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
They'd do the colour correction on it.
Emmy says, any news on when Everton will start releasing videos of Bramley-Moor progress? I guess once the website's fully up.
Well, the EvertonStadium.com is there now. If you go on it, you'll just see a holding page of the flyby. And I imagine I've literally had to I'm messaging someone right now about the stadium, about the stadium.
Cool.
And I might even get an answer for you. I'll ask him now.
Mike says, any idea why Demarai Gray's release clause was so low? Seems very low for Bayern to agree to. Could have upped it to account for some profit on their books. Also, do you know how it works with players' release clause? Is it public knowledge for other teams to know? Or do clubs have to inquire about the player first if the latter good work from brands? I imagine, like anything, it's the agent. First and foremost, who will tell interested people how much the release clause is, because maybe Demarai Gray got to the summer and was like, I'd actually quite like to go back to the Premier League. Although Rafa Benitez apparently been tracking him for a while.
What did Leverkusen pay Leicester for?
I don't know, Honestly, don't know.
So it couldn't have been much more.
I'm sure it was £1 million
Than the
because
VAR,
he had
no
literally
crown
like 5 months left on his deal.
Yeah.
And so they made 700 grand on him for having him for...
Fair play. Well done.
Yeah, that's better. I don't know why it was so low, but maybe he wouldn't agree to anything more. Or maybe they were just like, well, we'll take a chance and just see what happens. I honestly don't know is the real answer, but thank God it was so low because he looks like he's settled in really well, looks really happy to be here. Manager believes in him. He done that interview, didn't he?
I suppose it was a risk, him going to Germany, so therefore he needed an escape clause, quite literally, which would have to be low, and he's got it.
I suppose what they could have done, if they really wanted to, was try to renegotiate with him and give him a better contract and a bigger thing, and maybe he was like, I'd rather just go if I get the option, and they might have been like, okay, well we've got other options, you know, that we want to try out or whatever. And I suppose a short-term loan, he end up making 700 grand or something on him. Then it's fair enough. Also, any news on date for the webcam? Apparently more dock will be turned on. Sure, it's going to be soon, because it's told a couple of weeks ago that the website was practically ready to go. And it hasn't at the minute, but I'm sure there's reasons for it. And maybe they're just collating everything, so that when you go on it, everything is there and up to speed. I imagine they probably wanted some things actually done before, rather than just that you go on and nothing's happening, and whereas things have happened now, haven't they? So,
well, as in, yeah, I've just had some feedback there, but so I think for the club, this is now the next 4 months are going to be filling the dock. So be filling the dock and clearing the site, because that's what a lot of that's what, you know, has to happen now. The site has to be cleared, but it's also a very tight site, because there's a big body of water in the middle, and there's also pipes going around the outside, big metal pipes to take the water. So in terms of
no dumping ground either.
So really, so what you've got to have is, what they've been doing is smoothing out the sides. They're doing the
hydraulic tower.
The hydraulic tower, the pump tower. That's getting done. Apparently they're bringing that down brick by brick and be building it. They put holes in the wall for better access. So now the focus will be for the next 4 months is sand into the dock and filling the dock up and getting the water out. And that's a really big process. And that will be the only thing they'll essentially be doing for the next 4 months now. Nothing else will that be going on apart from just making sure those sides...
Essentially, they're tidying up as they go.
Because what you've got to remember is there's a lot of really heavy machinery moving in and out of that, and the site has just got to be clean for the work, the big work, which will start when the dock is full, which will probably be late February, or late January, early February, sorry. So so it's going to be like quite boring for the next few weeks, next months, but actually this is the exciting part, because this is the bit which gives us the thing to build on. So for the next 3 or 4 months, and with it being winter and shorter days, they've probably timed it that way, so that there's not loads of people on site, and there's not because
there's nothing for them to do.
So as we come winter into spring, that's when the building work will start to happen.
Longer days,
better light,
better
weather, and then you have a window of like, because that's when the metal work goes in, and the metal work, you know, has to all be precise, and you know, and so that's when you need the longer days, you need the better weather, and then again, so for the next 4 months, it's not going to be. I don't think you're going to be seeing a lot of drastic stuff happening. I think the club. That's why the club right now are like, and I think there's going to be something coming from the club tomorrow, on it. And I think there's going to be like a wrap up of everything that's going on right now. Okay. And then I think that'll be sort of
for a while,
for about 3 or 4 months, just to get that dock. Don't need to be updates on the dock getting filled up, But it is just like, if you really like watching sand get poured into water and then watching the water get distilled, then this is your time. This is your time. You enjoy it.
You've got to be able to see it, though.
Enjoy it is what I'm saying.
No,
Get yourself a drone and get down there.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because it's such a huge project. If we were just gone to the Stonecross site when all this started, we'd probably be playing in that stadium now.
Yeah. Of course we will.
Because we were on land.
Yeah.
And literally would have been cleared, throw the Meccano Stadium up, make it look all right from outside, and we'd have been in there now. But we wanted this place. It's going to be incredible. On the banks of the Royal Blue Mersey, it's going to look amazing. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be the envy of a lot of people in the city. Because let's be honest, if Liverpool were doing it, I'd be gutted. I'd be thinking, oh my God, that's amazing. So it takes time. But you're right, once the sand, someone did message me the other day and said, they're building it on sand, did they know what they're doing?
Yeah. You know,
I think engineers know.
Go and ask the people of, like, you know, Holland, because they've done a lot of this kind of stuff. You know, like there's like the Hague and stuff are literally there's places in like Tokyo which used to China are literally making man-made islands in the sea to say that it's their sea.
No, well, I just found that people were concerned, do they know what they're doing? I think they do.
Essentially, a dock is a big bath. And all they're doing is filling the bath, but with
sand. Fair enough.
And then that sand will go hard, and it'll all be closed off at the sides, and you'll be able to build on it. Yeah. Science.
Paul Catzel says, afternoon lads and fellow Blues. Another international break, but I guess this one is a good timing for the Blues with the injuries. Hopefully get them back on a training pitch and fit for the next run of games. Do you think Gabaman will play for us consistently, or will we try and offload him? Is there a danger now that
I don't know.
Everton just go, yeah, it's not happening for you?
I honestly, they'll make a decision over the course of this year, won't they?
Yeah.
They'll make a decision.
It's a pity because he's got all the attributes that. And we saw flashes of that in pre-season, didn't we? And in flashes against Huddersfield, to be honest, that he could be effective in our midfield. But if he can't keep himself fit, then it's difficult, isn't it? Because how do you force yourself into this team at the minute? The only thing you can do is become a sub, become the first sub. So play well in training, make yourself available all the time, and then try to get on and make your presence known on the pitch when you get on. And then when you get on and you do okay, then the manager starts looking and thinking, actually, you can do me a job in this game. I'd love him to have a period where he was just fit all the time and we can just actually see how good he is. Or is he good enough? Paddy Brown says, who would Van der Beek get in? And front of in our side, wouldn't he only come here as a starter for the squad? So we'd have to change the way we're playing.
But
he doesn't replicate the game what Decore and Allen play.
Would he not?
Maybe he can play as a deep number 10. And
would he not fit the role that Iwobi's fitted in some games? No, I'm not asking that as a. I'm not saying that as a.
Out wide.
I'm not saying no, because Iwobi's played central in games. I'm just saying, is he not an option?
Where Gomez played against Burnley.
I'm just saying, is he not an option in some games where you want someone who can play an 8 and have Decore and Allen? Because don't forget, right? It's great. No, it's bosh when people name the best 11. When can Everton ever pick the best 11?
Yeah,
the manager said it himself last week. He said it's not fair on the players who play. He said the injuries are not just about players who are injured. It's about the players who are not injured. And now every week, when you can't rest them,
going back to the well, aren't you?
You're sapping them a little bit more and a little bit more.
Don't forget the first 3 games of the season, the manager changed the team. So Andros Townsend started against Southampton at home. Went off.
But Charlton started on the left.
Leeds the week later. he was out the team for Iwobi, wasn't he? He was back in against Brighton the week after. So we've moved it around. It's only really since Dom got injured and then Richarlison's got injured that we've been down to who can actually play where. Anthony Gordon come in at the weekend and had a really good game for him.
We went to 4-3 against Burnley when they brought Gomez on.
Exactly.
And all Gomez played
Help win us the game.
If you look at that Everton side, and I seen something yesterday going, is it just me or does Richarlison not get back into the side? And I was like, yeah, it's just you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Dom comes back in for Rondon. It's not even a question.
No.
And Richarlison comes in for Iwobi or Gordon or whoever else you want to try on that wing. You can put Gray out to the left and play Richie off Dom. And you'd have that, you know what I mean? Because Gray can play in either position, can't he? He's excellent in either. And Josh Townsend, great. What you want to be able to do is go.
I think all footballers want is a fighting chance. I think that what they want to do is, your manager has 14, 15 players who, or more at other clubs, who have a fighting chance of getting in the team. And that's it. So you look at like Manchester City and you see like John Stones sitting on the bench. But John Stones knows that when he gets his chance, if he plays well, he stays in that team. There's not a defined, you know, Diaz is defined, but the person next to him, it's not. And I think that's the same with Everton. If you had whoever it is, if you've got a player who comes in and plays really well, the manager will keep him in the side, or he'll give him a chance to get in the side, or he'll bring him on. And I think when you've got options, you can do that. So like you just said, Townsend starts the first game, then he drops out against Leeds, and Iwobi's in. And actually Townsend probably needed a few games, and it's done him well that he has played. Sometimes that's what you find, and that's what, funny enough, that's what we used to find. This is something we said massively, is like when we had Moyes, and we didn't have the option to swap people in and out, people played through form. So I remember when Pienaar come, and people were like, he's too small, he's not quick enough, blah, blah, blah. He put him in the team, and he just left him there, and he built himself into being a fantastic player. What if we had other players and he'd been swapped and changed every week? So it can be funny how it works. Gray's probably suffered that at other clubs, where the manager's like, you're good, but I want him in my team. So any opportunity I get, you're going to drop out and you're going to come in.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin's probably the biggest thingy of it.
Yeah.
We had Dom. We brought Moise Keane in. That summer, people were going to get rid of Dom.
Yeah.
You know, for the first few months of the season, he played a few games. Remember, he scored at Bournemouth and then didn't score again till he scored in the Cup, and then he scored at Brighton in the league and things like that. Moise Keane was in it. And then when Dunk took over, he was like, you're my number 9. Dom was in then. Yeah. Ancelotti come in and Dom stayed in. And from then, now we're going, can't wait for him to be back. But if Everton would have had 2 different options on the bench or in the club, would Dominic Calvert-Lewin still be at Everton now? Or would he just be a sub? And would we know whether he could do it? People would still be going, not sure he can do it. So you need regular games to improve. You also need the option to take people out the side rather than out the squad. And I guess for Donny van der Beek, the biggest thing for him would be, he probably feels like at United, he's really got no chance of getting in. When everyone's kind of milling around, he's got no chance of getting in. Where even if he comes to Everton for 5 months, he's going to get games. Whether he's coming on with half an hour to go or 25 minutes to go, or he's starting, he's involved every week. And like you just said, footballers just want to be involved every week. So to him then, you give him the shirt and go, you're in the team today. He's got to go and prove it. If he's not good enough, he'll be back out. And that's what football has to be about. And what you're saying is right. Sometimes you have to play through it because of limited options. But Anthony Gordon, everyone's fit at the weekend. Does Anthony Gordon start at Old Trafford? No. And yet the kid's put in his best Everton display, I think, in terms of a mature performance. Working hard.
Getting your chance and taking it, isn't it?
And develop. I think with Tom Davies, if he goes to another club and he can get in the team, he'll improve as a player because he'll be regularly playing football. Not convinced now it's going to happen for him at Everton because I just don't see him as a starter. He's just a squad player. But I think if he could go to, let's say Newcastle, just for argument's sake, and get in their side.
No, he wouldn't get in.
No, well, they won't.
They're getting Mbappe.
They're getting Mbappe now, yeah, because the takeover. But or if he went to Southampton or whatever and got in and played every week, his performance levels would probably go up because he's regularly playing it. I think Van der Beek was very good at Ajax. Hasn't been able to do it at United because he's in and out. if he does come here, he'd have a chance of playing. At least it'd be on him, wouldn't it? And you'd only, I imagine, well, it would be. Everton would only be trying to loan him, wouldn't he? And if he doesn't do nothing, you send him back and say thank you very much. Exactly. If he does well, then that's a different conversation, isn't it? So, Keith says Koeman is on for a £10 million payoff if Laporte gets rid of him. Unbelievable. Yeah. Bollock dropped by Barca again. He just doesn't, the new president doesn't like him, I can understand that. Them and Real have been so poor this season, hardly recognised them. They got beat again the other day, Real, didn't they? Good old Carlo.
It's because they haven't got good players. They just haven't got good players. And they've got managers, certainly Real Madrid, they've got a manager who's set up for really good players, who wants really good players, and he hasn't got them.
I don't think either of them wants a coach. As in, do the fine details, I think. Particularly Ancelotti, if you give him world-class players, he's a good manager. Koeman, it's a flip of a coin, whether you think he's good or not. But you both, them squads now are probably at a stage where they probably both need a bit of coaching as well, because they haven't got the finances to go. Barca have got some good players, but if your manager can't get them a system or coach them, then...
The best of Madrid's team is still the players that were important players 10 years ago.
Benzema's there.
Benzema's 33, Modric 35, Toni Kroos, who's he'll be getting on now, won't he?
Bale.
And the players, the younger players coming in like Vinicius and Rodrigo, I don't think he's gone out on loan, hasn't he? But the new younger players coming in.
They're the victims of their own. They're victims of their own success. They bought amazing teams, both of them, but they haven't transitioned out of it, because when the time was there to transition, they couldn't get rid of the players because the market changed. No one wanted to take Gareth Bale on his wages. No one wants to take Modric in his 30s. Barcelona have had a little bit more success, I think, getting rid of people, but they haven't been able to replace them. And it all started with Coutinho. He's like the virus that started it all. He's like, what he is though, isn't he? He's the thing that started it all.
Giving him that much money was crazy.
He's changed. Coutinho, I actually think, Coutinho going to Barcelona, I think has almost changed the landscape of transfers. I think everybody's seen that and went, we can't afford to do that anymore. We can't afford to spend £100 million on a player who comes to a club and fails. You just can't do it anymore. So people that are being a lot more cleverer now and, you know, have bought in more to the Moneyball style, because it's like, why are we paying all this money for players who can't? How could anyone justify £100 million for Coutinho and what he's done? People will not only people that would bring down a company, not only people getting sacked, that would liquidate a normal company. Imagine like a normal a factory buying a piece of equipment for £100 million and it never worked. It's like, that's just destroyed their football club, and now they can't extend the stadium because of it. They can't bring in new players. They can't generate money because they're not bringing in stars. Less people will go and watch them. The tourist fans, less shirts being sold. That when the deal gets negotiated with the next sponsor or Nike or whatever, less money will come in. You know, it all comes down to the deals you do for players. And if you're bringing in really bad players or people like Griezmann that don't really fit the system. I mean, even in the summer, they brought in Aguero and kicked the ball for them, Mad.
Jake says one of the builders who built Anthony Gordon's new apartment says he lives on a diet of just baked beans and water.
That's not true. That is not true. I'm not having that.
Be scary if
he might have told you that. I'm not calling you a liar, by the way. But I think when he goes into the training ground, they'll make sure he eats more than that. Because
don't they? They won't have just baked beans for you to eat.
They don't have a cafeteria, the first team.
At Finch Farm, do they not?
No. They have a restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Well, somewhere to eat, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but they don't have a cafeteria. No, slightly different.
Chris Richardson says, Baz, what do you think about the steward who manhandled the little lad who got Godfrey's shirt? Yeah, I thought he was out of order. I have to say, it's becoming a bit...
Yeah, it's becoming a bit. Like, I've seen one kid in the last home game and then about another two ran on. And it's like, we've seen this before. When did it happen? A couple of years ago, where like some kid run on at the end and then every kid started running on. When we go to a mini derby, where there was just like a mad pitch invasion, because one run on and then they all started, and it's like...
I don't like, I think it's nonsense, and the players, I think it's it's one of those things.
And anyone who takes...
But what I would say is the steward was a disgrace, because the lad off, and his dad was right under me. Yeah. And his dad come over to get him, and he like shoved his arms down on the lad and like moved him away from his dad.
You can't do that.
I'm not being funny. If he'd have done that to Zach, mate, he'd have been on the floor.
Can't even touch. You can't.
He should have just gone to his dad. You take him up. Don't let him on the pitch. It's an offence. And just give him back to his dad. And his dad could have took him off.
Child.
He then got like the head steward or whatever came over him was like bollocking him, and people around us were shouting and screaming because it's not terrible. A good look. Don't touch. Don't put your arms down.
You
on
can't
the
take grapple the kids. I do believe though.
Take him off, and if he gets on again, we'll find out, and you'll be banned.
Yeah,
and just have a conversation.
Yeah. I do believe though, anyone who takes a sign to a football match saying, "Can I have your shirt?" should be banned for life. I do believe that should be brought in. I mean, I'm not being funny, Baz, but the last game I went to, I seen this ginger lad with, "Hi, it's my 21st. Can I have your shirt, please?" On just Townsend.
Yeah.
I seen that and I was
that's not true.
Well,
why did you just think it was you?
He said Alex Iwobi.
Why did you think that was you?
Michael Manning says, as a Liverpool fan, what do you think of Rafa so far?
I'm not a Liverpool fan, so there's nothing I can say. I like Rafa. I've liked Rafa for a long time. There's a video from like nearly 2 years ago to the day when I'm saying on the video, we need to be adults and bring him in. I like Rafa. I've got no problems. I think life's too short, especially in football, to be worrying about what someone managed or may have said something. I think life's too short for that. As long as it's not like, he battered me over the head with a stick or he took me benefits off me or something, then I just think life's too short. And I think we've forgiven worse things. I think Rooney broke my heart into about 1 million pieces when he left Everton, and I welcomed him back with open arms because enough time had passed, and he,
My issue wasn't with Benitez managing Liverpool. I'd said that before. I was over that comment. It was 14 years ago. My issue was, my worry or concern was the way he had his teams playing football. And after Ancelotti, I didn't want to see that Dirge like saved up a game what's supposed to be an entertaining sport. And I've got to say, I'm massively, pleasantly surprised by the football we're playing, because it's almost simple. Work hard, got players with a bit of pace in, counter-attack, get loads of shots on goal, and it's front foot football. And that's all I want to see from Everton. And then get better quality players, put that together, and then you improve and improve and improve. So I'm really pleased with them at the moment. It's early days, but so far, I think he hasn't really put a foot wrong, I would say, so far.
And in terms of
1.7 million quid.
In terms of like respect for the club as well, I think he's been so far spot on. He keeps himself to himself, does good interviews. I think he always comes across really well. I think he looks dead smart with his suit and stuff on. I think he just, he makes sure. I think as a manager, he's
who's in charge.
He's someone you can respect, and you see him on the touchline, and people are warming to him now. I think people are warming to him as a manager, and the other things will come, I imagine. Some people are begrudgingly, accepting him as the manager now.
That's fine.
And that's it, and the thing about it is though, he as a person, I don't think has ever gone, how dare you have this opinion about me? What he said from day one is like, yeah, I'm here to do a job, and I'll do the job as best. He hasn't gone, I'll do my job, you ganging up it. He's just gone, I'll do the job for you, and that's it.
At the end of the day, he's probably the perfect manager for Everton at the moment, because he understands what we want as fans, because he's lived here so long, and because he's got loads of Evertonian mates who he will have heard moaning over the years about what we're not doing and what our team's like and why we... he said in like his interviews and that, it was well documented, off listening to everyone. We had no one down the right last year. Nobody we needed the right. He said that, people have told me. Been having these conversations. He's had his eyes on the prize the minute Ancelotti went, but he also is always looking, and he's done well so long making singing.
I think before Ancelotti got the job, he wanted it.
No, he did, yeah. I think he wanted it in 2019.
So he would have kept an eye on it, because he's a football person. So no issues at all.
Where are we? Kevin Crafts this afternoon, Ped, Baz and Ned. Adam Prentice says, "Hi lads, played e-football yet? Despite the bugs, I'm liking the gameplay."
Yeah, I've played it. I'm not a massive fan of it, I must admit. But you know what it is, and I'll tell you straight off, it's because I want a football game to be like, wow, give me that feeling I used to have when I used to play like PES on the PS2. I want something to give me that feeling, and it hasn't. And you know, it might be any worse, or it might, you know, than other games or the game, but I just want it to really be like, because I just find it mad that in this day and age that no one's brought out an absolutely amazing footy game. That's it. There's boss games out there for like loads of boss games out there. You play, people have put loads of time and effort into them. I can't understand why someone hasn't gone, maybe FIFA have tried this, we're going to make this amazing game, and then all we're going to do is every year graft onto it. But they haven't got that first initial part where the gameplay is just like, this is amazing, I'm going to play it. I
am enjoying FIFA 22 at the moment, got to say. Playing it again last night for a bit. I am enjoying it. It's not perfect, but it is quite good this year. PES, you're right, I wanted it to be, or eFootball, I wanted it to be like, wow, waited 2 years and they haven't wasted the 2 years. So I'm hoping when everything else comes out in November that this one's an earlier build. And it's a lot more, you can do a lot more with it, and the graphics are a bit, or the animations are a bit better. But you're right, it is mad, it's mad. I play like NBA, you know, 2K, whatever, that series, whether it's 18, 20, 21, whatever, and that they've got the basketball, like, it's brilliant, it really is. And then obviously all the stuff around it, the presentation, game day, and all the, you know, all of that's great. People getting out the seats and going off the exits and all that. You've got all of that good, but the gameplay's really good. Excuse me. I just don't feel he's done it with footy. And I've always loved PES, but I have had FIFA games. So I think when I got my PS3, I think it was PES 14, or PES 12 and 13 and 14, FIFA 13, 14. And I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was a good game, you know. And then, I don't know. So he just stopped. He started FIFA lazy. Started going off the boil. PES was going off the boil. PES came back, but it never truly came back. Never truly came back as good as it was on the PS2. It's just dead weird. It's just like, for me, it's like they're getting caught up in all the other stuff. Like, make sure Mbappe's facial features are incredible. Instead of being like, no, let's get the gameplay right. Yeah. Let's get a game that makes you feel like you're playing footy. What makes me laugh is you're right about that. They like, look at Mbappe in this game, or, oh God, it looks exactly like him. When I'm playing the game from the angle I play, you can't see them anyway. They look like FIFA, they look like the players. Yeah. Buff mitts from far away, and that's fine, because that's what you want to see. Last if it goes close up and it looks, you know, Haaland looks like, I don't know, it doesn't bother me as long as from where I'm playing the gameplay's good. I always wanted them to do this, and I don't think they can. Obviously, like on PS Now, you have old games that you get on it. I wanted them to just bring PES 6 out on it. Oh, no. But I don't think they can, because it's obviously Konami. It's not like a Sony product. It's just like, why don't Sony just buy Konami and start making the games themselves? Surely it'd be like, surely for them, or surely if they put money into a game, football games, FIFA's the biggest game in the world. It's the biggest game. Sells most than anyone, right? So if you had so that's obviously EA. But if you had another big company went, right, there's so much money to be made here in football games. Let's go out and put some money into a game and make a brilliant football game. Because now it's in America as well. People are like crediting football to be on the rise in America because kids have played like FIFA in dorm rooms. Course, Then surely someone out there must be thinking, there is a lot of money to be made here. And also we're gonna go to FIFA and go, no, we want that. We want to start using all the players and all the leagues. And this is not going to be exclusive anymore. Surely if someone went out and offered enough money, FIFA would go, yes, please. Well, Ultimate Football League, I think it's going to be called. Yeah. I felt that's got FIFA Pro license. Yeah, but it's got 60,000 players. Yeah, but PES has got a FIFA Pro license, so it can have the names of the players, but it can't have the teams. Yeah, but if you make it customizable. Yeah. then I've got no issue with that. It wouldn't bother me if you just had to change the name.
Pez sort of proved though that the average kid just wants to pick up, what FIFA's been amazing at is all the kits, all the players, all the grounds. You put it on, you've got the commentary. It looks like what people watch at home. Kids stick it on. They don't want that thing of like, oh, I'm going to customise my kit. But I understand. We grew up with that because it was Pez from day one. And I used to love that. I used to love going in and getting all the boots. Even now, I'm like, he doesn't wear them boots. I'm putting the boots on that he wears because I'm nerdy like that. But yeah, you just would think that there's money out there to be made from an amazing...
FIFA, like I was playing like with Dortmund and like playing at Signal Iduna Park and the crowd, honestly, the noise, it's really good. Like, so I'm hoping that everyone else starts rising as well because you're right, they've still yet to really master the game where you have a game and you're like, that game was amazing.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Not like, what's the AI doing there? Or it feels like they're on rails sometimes. Yeah. It's like, no, make it off, but we'll see. Amber Film says, best football Everton fan channel. You guys not being on the kickoff representing the Blues is a crime. Head should defo be on the kickoff.
Not being on the phone, mate.
You should defo be on the kickoff.
Oh, I'd say things. That's... Oh, Brian.
No, but it'd be good, wouldn't it? Because you know what you're like.
But you know.
Stuart says, Baz, after the way United wouldn't let us have Rojo, Romero and now Van der Beek, we should be like Daniel Levy with them when they want one of ours. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You've got to want ours first. Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
You're not having Dom, and that's the end of it.
Gareth says, I will personally pay for Dick L and Mrs. L's transport to the get-together just to see that they are real.
You mean the patron members only exclusive night?
Yeah.
That is happening in somewhere in November?
Friday, November.
Yeah. I'm not going to say where it is. It's on YouTube. You know, where you have to be a member of patron to go to the exclusive night.
He also says it's an all or nothing deal, though, to both Mr. and Mrs. L.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen.
I'm not paying for Dick's dirty weekend.
No, listen. If Dick L brings his missus, I will insist, right? You listening?
Come on, mate.
I know, just want to make sure you're listening.
I'm listening.
I will insist Ned does a set in shorts. And the shorts that he wears for footy, by the way.
What new shorts?
No. The P shorts.
One song, not a set.
P shorts. In those, you've got to be showing off your calves to
song.
Mrs. Dick L.
Your Segundo Castillo type calves. Hakon Sarak says a player in the 6th level in Brazil has been charged with attempted murder. It was horrific.
So he booted the referee in the head, didn't he? And then kicked him while he was on the floor. And then the riot police just stormed on, and then they all got the ambulances on. Apparently the ref's all right. But
scandalous.
Looks scandalous, like.
Bobski says, do you think this international break has come at a good time for us, given the injuries?
Fantastic time.
Or do you reckon we may have been better riding the momentum?
Fantastic time, I think.
I mean, we've got no choice in that. It's an international thing, but you never know. You never know. But
Italy, Spain tonight, isn't it?
Is that what it's tonight? Yeah?
I think it is. Nations.
I think if you're looking at it, you'd have to say that we've got to give ourselves the best chance to get our players back. And that 2 weeks will do so.
Sudan and Guinea, 0-0, half-time.
That's the one. What do you think about the Watford situation? Will it ever work, says Andrew Hughes?
I mean, I suppose it's the same situation that goes on at Chelsea, isn't it?
On a lesser scale.
On a lesser scale. Everton set to appoint a new head of academy recruitment.
Good for Man. Gareth says, even the most adamant of Benitez haters has to admire the job he's doing so far. As Ped said, who'd have thought it was Benitez who'd unite us. Georgie says, I think we need better entertainment on a match day. There needs to be better food venues outside, more of a variety.
I was wondering what you meant then.
Competitions at the moment. I find it for the kids. Competition.
Go on. Finish that sentence.
Oh. Okay.
Shut up, Ned.
No, that's it. There needs to be better food venues and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, entertainment is going the match. Like, I don't get...
I think same for kids.
What I mean is I don't go to pitches and expect them to be doing some
No.
No, you know what I mean? Going to match is the entertainment. I mean, I get what you say. I get what you're saying. And it is all down to, like, the fan zone is tiny, and obviously we haven't been able to use it this year. I appreciate that. It is a very old-fashioned ground. There's very, very little round it. If you were to go to other grounds, you'd probably find there's more stuff. Like if you go, like Anfield, obviously Anfield has got the huge walkway. I think it's called the Boulevard, isn't it? Anfield Boulevard or whatever. And then they're going to have at the end, there's going to be something when the new stand gets built. You know, there's a lot of grounds that have a lot of room around them. That's what we'll have when we get Bramley Moor. And we've said from day one, we've said what should happen at Bramley Moor is the wall should be the turnstiles. It won't, because they don't think like this.
Problem with that is getting people in it, because it's a road. No, I'm just saying,
mate.
I'm just telling
2021 right now,
I know,
and in 3 years it'll be 2024.
It will.
That's just
right.
science,
it is.
right? Right. And all you need is a gap in the wall and to put temporary people with barcode scanners. That's all you need. That's all you need. 2 lines of stewards with barcode scanners. You don't need anything else. That's what they had in Germany.
I know.
That's what they had in Germany. And what you do is
encourage people to get in.
You get people to get in. And that only has to be the first line, by the way.
Yeah.
You would have another turnstile to get into to further down. But people to go into the fan zone before the game. And then if you go in the fan zone, you're in then. You can't go out. You're in the stadium. But you make sure that the fan... People saying on Saturday, by the way, Man United, £3 a pint.
Was it?
Yeah. So there you go.
£3 a pint?
Yeah.
I paid £4.40 for a warm little bottle of...
Prosecco as well, apparently, Man United. So what you should be able to do when you go to Bramley Moor is you should be able to go through those gates and you're in this big fan zone that goes all the way around the stadium or right there, and there should be a stage with stuff going on like the fan zone now, good local food outlets like you'd see in the Baltic, local beer places as well as like
pop-up shops,
conglomerates, whatever, and different things for different people. But you're in the stadium, so the club are taking your money. Like we've said this since we come back from Germany. The club, you're going to match. You're prepared to spend money on food and alcohol if you're that way inclined,
or tea, coffee, whatever
give it
may
to
be.
the club. But the club have got to do their part by making good facilities. So anyone I think who's been to Tottenham's ground would say this as well. Good facilities, lots of facilities, so loads of different kinds of food,
reasonable
priced for what it is. I mean, we went to Germany, pick and mix, massive pick and mix. I don't think that'll last very long, but, you know, choice. Get people into the ground and give them choice and give them things to do before the game. Get them in there a couple of hours before the game. How do you do that? You have things for them to do. Whatever the entertainment is. A big screen showing whatever the early kickoff is or highlights of the last game, or Sarah doing a pitch side stuff with people, or Baz and Sarah doing stuff pitch side with stuff, or whatever it is, that's what needs to happen.
Here you go. Astro says, what's everybody's plans for the weekend?
Oh, look at you, Astro, walking in with your bollocks in a wheelbarrow. That's what you are at the moment. Oh, yeah.
You and Tony Bell have been on the phone
the people's champion, Astro. There we go. Walking in. But no, we're going to do this weekend. We're going to do something good. What are you doing? Oh, you're in a plane, are you? Flying to the edge of space? Whatever.
But you're right. International football's rubbish. Bobski says, saying Bud have little or no interest in internationals. Maybe you could give us an Astro special commentary over the top of the Man U highlights. Keith Powell said, didn't Coutinho cost 142 million?
Well, it was all down to bonuses.
I think that was massively disputed as well. Liverpool put that figure out to make it look like they'd got an incredible deal. But Barcelona journalists were like, no, it's like 90 million, then 10 if he makes X amount. And basically, he had to be unbelievable and they had to win everything. And those two things happened.
Those things didn't happen.
Keith also says, how did Facebook crash? Apparently 3.5 billion used this platform for not only personal use, but businesses too. It's not that crazy. Is that not crazy, or can you explain the advantages of using this method, Ped?
Sorry, how did it crash, did he say?
No, just yeah, well,
why did it crash?
Just said, is it crazy that 3.5 billion use it for personal or business?
No.
What are the advantages of using it?
Well,
you can reach everyone or
everywhere. You can reach everybody at every time. You don't need to have a off-site. We know, obviously we know different things that we've been told because of our practices and stuff. Facebook is one place, isn't it, essentially? So if you're on it, you can basically find other people. If you need to find people, you can find businesses. You could go on there right now and you'd see links for our t-shirts and stuff that are available now. New t-shirts.
Nice.
And there'll be a link, and the link will you basically can buy it through Facebook. So it's a one-stop shop, and it keeps you on Facebook. It wants to keep you on Facebook. It doesn't want you going off Facebook. In fact, we're going to start a new weekly live show on Facebook because it is such its own little thing. It doesn't want you to go off. It wants to control everything. And because of that, it gets the advertisers, and it can get advertisers to pay a lot of money. And that's what it is, essentially. It's like, I don't really use it that much. I use Twitter, but like the thing about Facebook is your nan uses Facebook, your auntie uses Facebook. All these different people use Facebook. That's their thing. You know, they find out what's going on up the street because they've got a secret group or something. You know, whatever. But it's quite... And now they own Instagram and now they own WhatsApp, which is a little bit more scary because they're getting a monopoly on different things.
But once one goes down...
But what's quite fun... You know why it went down?
No.
Basically what happened is... Apparently what happened was...
I just thought it was like Free Guy.
They sent an update. They sent an update. And when they sent the update, it blocked the servers from talking to anybody. So they did it to themselves. But they couldn't... Because it blocked... It's like that thing of like they locked the keys inside the house.
Oh my God.
So they couldn't get in to get the key. But also that's a quite literal metaphor though. Because Facebook controls everything at Facebook HQ. And apparently it stopped all the key cards working as well. So people literally couldn't get in the building to fix it. So that's why it took so long, because it was there. It was working. It hadn't broke or crashed anything.
Yeah.
But the servers weren't talking to each other. So it was like the wrong key going into the right lock. So no one could get to it. And because it's on Instagram and WhatsApp, and I only care about WhatsApp really. You know, I'm trying to get Ned to do something, and I have to go through text messages of all things. It
is mad how that goes down and no one's got a clue how to survive. Everyone's going,
but apparently, like, people literally could not get into the Facebook building to get it sorted. And then, but because they all talk to each other on WhatsApp, they couldn't talk to each other about it either. So, but that's basically what it is. It's become a self-sustainable web community. So, like, to the point now where people don't even I think that people have different things, don't they? So, like, I'm very Twitter heavy. People will say, oh, I only go on YouTube because you can find everything out. Or people go, I'm Google. I'll just Google something.
Or I'm Instagram.
So Google is YouTube, isn't it, essentially? Or Instagram. So people who are on YouTube will go, who are on Twitter, Facebook will go, oh, I've seen something on Toffee TV. I'll just search Toffee. They're not necessarily going to go onto YouTube and look for something. Or they're not going to look for a top. Or they're not going to look for a shop. They're going to go, oh, I walked past this shop today. Looked dead nice. What's the name of it? It's called so-and-so. Yeah. What did he do? Oh, I'll go in there. Or it's like Instagram. When we were in Wales, we went to a little market, pop-up market thing. And it was like the girl just had like on a board, search the name on Instagram. You search the name on Instagram, it's there. That's advertising, isn't it? You're there, you write all the detail. That's how people use it now, so.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Elliot Saxon says, why do all the top six have good academy players, but Everton don't?
I mean, there's one is recruitment. 2 is because we got a ban stopping us from getting players. And 3 is the rules have completely changed, haven't they? The rules changed about 10 years ago, where basically you could take players from... The rule used to be you couldn't have any players. I think it was 90 miles, was it?
Something like
that.
It's changed, hasn't it?
60 or 90 miles, you wouldn't be able to sign a player, essentially. That started that, and also they changed the compensation, didn't they?
Yeah.
So Tranmere in the old days could have a player, and no matter how old they were, no one could come in and just take them off them a large amount of money. Now it's like £90,000, I think it is. It's like the top for like a young player.
Terrible.
So basically now the top clubs can go and hoard kids all they want now. So they can bring in players from anywhere. They don't have to worry about paying them. We've seen that with the rules, with the kid we've brought in from Sunderland and Smalls going to Southampton. So basically, kids can do what they want now. They can't sign contracts till they're 17, which basically means they can do what they want below 17. The top clubs are hoarding them. But not only are they hoarding them, the top clubs now are setting up these satellite teams where they're basically like, if they see any kid, and I know this because my nephew and my godson, it's happened to both of them. So my nephew was approached by Manchester City, and it was like, yeah, we'll put you in our satellite team. So he's not signed to City. He wasn't signed at the time to City, but it was like he got the perks of going to play through their training ground and all that, playing for a team which was like, we keep an eye on you, but nothing ever came of it. My godson at the moment, I think, is what was playing for the Liverpool satellite team. And again, the same thing. You go to their training ground for the summer, but you're not signed. Now, if his dreams and aspirations are to play for Liverpool, which they are, he's not going to sign for anybody else because he thinks he's on the hook, isn't he? He's on the hook for Liverpool. So that's what's happening now.
Everton I don't know whether they still have. Everton have got a development. It's called a development squad.
Yeah.
So they're not signed for
No,
Everton,
they're not. No,
they're just looking at them.
No, everyone does it. Yeah. And what they do is they'll get a coach who's like the coach from, like, say, the under-8s, and they'll have like a Sunday league team. Yeah. And all it'll do is be full of kids that are ready to take the next step on the watch list. Yeah, these satellite teams, and that's how they do to keep them on the hook. Problem is, at the moment, if you were approached in let's say 10, 15 years ago, let's say a Liverpool fan, good player, was 12, 13. If he was approached by Everton, Liverpool, he'd choose Everton because everyone said the pathway's better. Yeah. You get to train at Finch Farm, so you're in the same facilities as the first team. And you've got a much better chance because Liverpool didn't really take it seriously. When Klopp came to Liverpool, Klopp said, you either get rid of this academy or you start running it properly. And obviously they started running it properly. He said, you've got to start making money out of these players or they end up in my first team, which they're doing, clearly. Also, they've changed their now. So when he came, they were training in Kirby and Liverpool were training at Melwood. And he started to bring kids over from Kirby to go to Melwood to get them to see what the facility's like and see all the players. Now Liverpool have left Melwood. They've gone to Kirby. They're all in the same facilities. Kick the women out. But that's a different story. And they're all in the same building now. So I think within the city, there's this idea now that kids who are Liverpool fans will be like, oh, I'm going to Liverpool. Look at the pathway. Look at Jones and St Alexander and all these. And they'll go, well, look at Everton. They'll go, well, where's the young Scousers playing for Everton? Okay, you got Anthony Gordon. But where's the other young Scousers? Tom Davis is 23. Yeah. So it's only really Anthony Gordon. It's only really Anthony Gordon. So Everton signed a load of players 4 years ago from all over the world who are all gone now. So the pathway used to be go to Everton, you'll get a better chance. Now they're like, no, go to Liverpool. Much better. And they're really good. The first team's really good. And I think essentially that's where it's gone wrong. Okay. Man United they've had a player in their matchday squad for like ever, who's come in the academy. Man City are getting Phil Foden. Chelsea, Mason Mount. They're getting players into their first team now. Arsenal, they've got young players coming in through theirs now. So all those teams at the top, and Arsenal, are doing it. And we're sadly not.
Seb Pink says the problem with games is that they only care about the multiplayer features and money. So they just try to make it look good and have a tone of different players and cards, but they're not enhancing fun. Yeah, I mean, it does seem like that, doesn't it? And I know that money is the driver. Yeah. Of course it is, and it's got to. But I just think it'd just be great if someone did decide to make a boss game. Because if you made it boss, you can pack the money bits out by going, right, you can have a classic teams or you can have a new stadium or whatever.
It's great saying, we want the microtransactions and all this nonsense. But I'm simply not buying the game. or I'm not simply getting the game if it's not good.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
like, I understand now games are getting played for online and stuff like that. I appreciate that. But still, the game, while you're playing it online, it's still got to feel good. Still got to feel like you're playing football.
Of course it is.
If it doesn't, I'm not going to go on there and I'm not going to buy crap.
You want it to drag you back, don't
People
you?
play Fortnite because they love the game, because it's actually, for them, they love the game. Like, the game just makes so much sense to them. Or Minecraft before that, right?
Well, Minecraft's come back.
But kids or whoever love it because actually they're good. I've played Fortnite and I quite like it in a way, but I don't quite get it because I can't do all the building.
I'm terrible at it.
COD, I play COD, but I'm terrible at it, right? But I always get that feeling when I get killed that I want to play it again. I want to play it like instantly again. But I'm not someone who's going to go in there and buy stuff. But I do, so I understand why it's so addictive. Why people go back, and then when you lose, go, I need a bigger gun, so you go and buy. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah,
Do
you know.
they, yeah.
Well, that's not, that's just bad parenting.
Yeah.
Leaving credit cards around. I understand that. But listen, if I had a footy game and I loved it, and I was like, I might need to buy the new Everton, because you know what they're doing, where they bring out like limited edition kits, don't they? So they have like a FIFA only like Man United kit. So people go on and buy it. Like, if I really liked the game and I was playing it, I was enjoying it, I was going, do you know what? Oh, there's this new Everton 4th kit. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'll pay £3 for that or whatever. I've got no problem. No, why? Because I really like the game. It's like anything. It's like anything in life, isn't it?
You should have like access to stadiums and stuff.
Yeah, it's like anything in life, isn't it? It's like if you're really enjoying something, you'll pay the little bit extra if you can afford to.
You can afford it.
If you can afford it.
Well, that's the good. I guess that's the good thing, is that if you want the core game, it's free, which is good. And I think maybe FIFA will move to this as well. Maybe FIFA will move to this. UFL, who someone mentioned before, are doing the same. They're doing exactly the same. You put your hands out. Go cat. And they'll be the same. And they're kind of running with, we're not going to charge you for all of this and all of that. But you can still have things where you can make the money in. Because if you're not extortionate with it, people will. See, I'd have no issue. If PES was really good, it's free. I'd have bought it anyway. I'd have bought it at 40 odd quid. Right? If it was good, because I like the game. And I play it more than probably other games, because you can throw it on, play a couple of games and you're done. If they said it's free because that's what we're doing, we're bringing a season pass out, it's a tenner, but it opens you up to play, I'd buy it. And I might buy something else if it's good or whatever. If there was like stadiums, it just depends what you want. But those games can get money, can bring people in free, but get money out of you. But
if GTA 6 comes out and they're charging 80 notes for it, are you buying it?
Probably for the simple, because at first you go, 80 quid, what?
You're buying it.
You're playing it for 5 years.
You're buying it, aren't you?
Yeah,
you're buying it. Everyone's buying it.
Because you know it's going to be amazing.
If Red Dead 3 comes out and they
cool.
go, we're going to give you more backstory on Arthur or whatever it is, you're paying 80 notes for it because you know you love that game.
I'm going to have to go wrong now. I'll be back.
You love that game, so you're paying the money for it.
100%.
You're paying the money for it.
But I'd buy it all.
I just got off, Ned.
I'm coming back.
Hello.
Ned, give me some comments. Because I'm just sitting here whistling in the dark.
Just doing that Ultimate Fan thing.
You what?
I was just doing that Ultimate Fan thing.
Ultimate Fan. Make sure you do your Ultimate Fan team this week. Ultimate Fan is...
It's going to be really fun.
It's this week. It's internationals this week. You've got to pick an international team for the European teams. We did a video yesterday and there'll be a video on tomorrow. It's Friday to Tuesday's games. And you have to pick an international team, basically, to win points. Don't forget, it's free. Get 3 cards. There's also a silver tier, which is $2.99. You get 3 silver cards, and there's a gold tier, $4.99. You get 2 gold, 1 silver. You get £5 off Uber Eats, an exclusive offer for the personal barber shaving club as well. Honestly, it sounds a free app. Just download it. You can have a little bit of fun with it. It's like fantasy football versus ultimate cards. What else? Ned, give me some comments. Just give me some comments. Make a comment.
Let's have a look. Charmed Life says, still waiting for the admission that Ned is Ped's son.
Well, he's not. He's just not.
That's not true. John
Timelines don't add up.
John Smith says we need fan channels in FIFA career mode. We were going to start the new one
Do
today.
we though? I mean, is that... What? Hang on. Do you want a fan channel for the game, or do you want a fan channel within the game? So you're playing FIFA. So yeah. So how would this work? How would this work? So you're playing FIFA and you're playing as Everton, right? And no, you have those. You're playing, what is it? Club career or whatever.
Manager mode.
Yeah, let's say, or the club career, whatever. And what happens? So during the week, you get updates from the chairman and all that. So does suddenly, if it's Everton, then me and Baz just pop up and going, well, this week, who asked the question?
John Smith.
John Smith should have done better and took that out. I mean, logistically, I think that would be quite hard to do. Or would you just have like me and Baz doing some like generic bits that would pop up?
What's this for?
No, you're just the manager and you're just managing the team. That's it. Manager mode.
Oh, he wants us to do a video. Oh, I thought he wanted fan channels within the game.
No.
Okay.
No.
But my bit was more interesting though.
Yeah, I didn't have a clue what you were talking about.
That's fair enough. Most people don't.
Basically, what me and Cam did, but for the new FIFA.
Yeah, he's
which
ruined
we
it.
want to start, but we're just waiting on Cam to
Just waiting on
be
Cam.
here.
Waiting on. I mean, you're here once a week.
I can't do it on my own.
You basically give up on life.
I'm not.
You've grown yourself a little pirate beard.
I'm not a character enough on my own to host a
Well, I mean,
host a
that's
show.
Has we come
solo.
out of COVID when there's more cases than there's been?
I mean, go ahead, Baz. Keep the comments coming.
The news. Astro says he's already had his 5 minutes of fame. I'm not convinced that's so. He says, weather's crap, so no playing today. My 5 minutes of Twitter relevance is already over. I'll leave the spotlight to people far more funnier and entertaining.
But you are funny. You are entertaining.
You are entertaining. Paul Gold says, might see it on the night out. Also says, only entertainment I want is on the pitch. Not bothered about the stuff around
That's
it.
fair dues.
Georgie says, do you not think what sauce people have on their bacon barns tells you everything about them? If it's not brown, I'm getting the word. I'm not going to say it.
Well, I am. I have to be brown.
I'd have brown.
I have to be brown. I find red sauce to be far too sweet.
For something like bacon.
For bacon.
Yeah.
I find you have to have brown sauce. But but you know, what I'll do is, I'll back off and leave the room. Right, I'm not going to get into a confrontation with them. I'll just back off and leave the room. And that's it. I imagine Ned has tomato sauce on his bacon because he strikes me as that kind of person.
I'd say so. Keith says,
I don't even think he's listening.
No, he's not. Don't you think that the Facebook scenario is used by governments now and it's a road to nationalism and attack on human individual rights? You are getting deep here, Keith. It's nearly 6:20 on a Wednesday night.
Keith, I think you might be right. I just think the only problem is that we're down the rabbit hole now, mate. We've took the blue pill and we're down the rabbit hole. We're in the matrix.
Okay.
And I don't know what can be done about it.
Adam Lilford says, I can't tell you the pleasure I'd get from watching an Astro watch-along.
But what would we do? Would we just watch Astro?
No, he'd be doing a watch-along on the match.
That's good. There's probably about a 3,500 mile issue, unless he flies his plane over.
No, but he could just film himself watching Everton as a watch-along, couldn't he? Smalley says, are you lads?
Are you?
Are you, Smalley? Are you?
Be good.
Right, last couple. Kevin Kraft says, defo brown sauce. Wormy Spoon says, crispy bacon and maple syrup.
It's a big American thing, isn't it?
Oh, I couldn't.
It is a big American thing.
Oh, I couldn't.
But I think I could do maple syrup rather than tomato sauce, but I just couldn't put it on a barm cake.
Yeah, okay. Sol says, who out of you three get furthest in Squid Game?
I've not watched it, but
I won't.
imagine...
No, listen, not going to say anything, but Squid Game is boss. And it's definitely, you two, I think, would love it. You'd have to sit, I mean, it has got subtitles and, there is English if you want to watch it in English, but there is something to the Korean dialect that I really like. It is good. It is so weird and dark and moody, and it's got a lot of, little things about life that I just like, and a lot of, things about corporations and things, but it is good. I'll be honest with you, without giving anything away, I don't know the answer to that, because the way in the Squid Game itself is, a lot of it is luck. A lot of it is the one in the first episode where you have to stand still. I mean, that's just, I think,
it's just boring.
That's just, no, it's not boring. It's not boring.
Standing still.
No, you're not standing still. What it is?
Someone's shooting at you, you've got to stand still.
No.
No?
You're playing a game, and you're playing a game, and when the thing turns around, you have to stand still.
Oh, okay.
Like freeze.
Yeah, freeze, okay.
And anyone who doesn't freeze,
Gets shot.
bad things happen to them.
Oh, like the...
Like freeze, essentially. Got some shocking news here. Steve Lamb in the comments.
Oh, I mean, this is what's wrong when people question Ned's parentage. You've got his dad in the comments. That to me, I just find that disrespectful from the people questioning the parentage of Ned when his dad's watching.
Steve Lamb says, did you know that Ned played a set about 2 years ago?
I love the fact that he calls him Ned.
At Anfield in their fan zone.
You know I did.
No,
I didn't.
This is new news.
I got paid for it.
This is new news.
I told you
His
because...
own dad has called him
because,
Judas in full capital.
Hi, John. Could you just whip that contract up for us?
Yeah.
It's not going to be needed now.
And get Cam on the phone. ASAP.
Cam couldn't do it.
I told you because I had
I don't
thingy
know,
off
I think
Brooks.
he could.
Who was that? Oh, what's his name? Off Brookside.
Tined.
The one who's does the theatre. He's
Tined.
doing theatre in Birmingham now.
Tined.
Tined.
No.
Or Sinbad.
Sinbad from Brookside was
He is
looking
from
after
Brookside,
me.
you're right, mate, yeah.
I got paid a lot of money, so I wore a blue shirt.
That's all right, fair enough. Do you
Okay.
know Tined owns all of the... He owns something mad in town, like all the tourist buses or something.
Does he, yeah?
Yeah, something mad. He owns something. I can't remember what it is exactly, but he owns something like mad, like the touristy buses or the Beetle buses or something. Something mad he owns.
Mad. John Smith Jr. says, where was Everton's FIFA rating reaction video on YouTube?
You mean Everton?
Everton's
or
or ours.
reaction?
We're not. We
We really should have done it. Well, you
we
should have
used
done
to
it.
get sent by the company
FIFA's crap.
the ratings like the day before. But on that ass, mate.
No, I'm saying, but Ned could have done
The
that.
mad thing is that
Because it's just
Michael
me
Keane's
getting
score
angry.
is higher than Yerry Mina's.
I know it's nonsense. You've got like Richarlison 82 and
Yeah,
like
but that's the point of it.
and like
That you can
Heung-min
do it and
Son's
go,
90
this is a
or
joke.
something.
You and Cam,
I mean, you
It's,
have.
it's literally something for you and Cam
Yeah,
to
Cam
do.
could have done
Absolute
that.
nonsense that game. Demarai Gray rated 75 and Heung-min Son's 90.
That's the way life. That's the way life goes. That's the way the crocky crumbles.
Son is very good, though, and has been very good for years. Demarai Gray, as much as he's boss, if he carries on throughout the season, then yes.
It's all about
come on.
form, isn't it? It's about what you did last year.
Yeah, exactly. And Dominic Calhoun's 81 rated. He should be about 88.
Should he though,
Yeah.
really? I mean, 88's like
88's
world
quite
class,
high,
isn't
but
it?
about
21
8, I'd have
goals
said
across all
83,
comps.
I think 83.
88's like world class level, I'd say.
Well, Henderson was like 86.
What's
last
Harry
year.
Kane?
Like 90.
Well, there you go. You're
So
not...
Dom should be at least 86.
Yeah, you say, all right, fair enough.
You went from 88, you back down
Yeah,
very
you back
quickly.
down very
as you know.
quickly.
Oh,
You know what I
88
mean?
then.
Keith Powell says, I really need your commitment to back up Andy Burnham in the future, Ped.
Yeah. I said this the other week. I did get an email about they were looking for people to be Labour councillors, but I'll be honest, I don't know if I've got the facilities.
Okay. David Witt says, sick of all the stress of finalising my new house move, so this is helping me de-stress. I have my slow cooker at the ready.
Oh, yes!
Ironically, we did not buy it. It was on a competition with other stuff.
Boss.
And also
Doing the
says,
gadget show?
also says, I'm thinking, yeah, generation game he was on. They also says the Everton Squid game would be interesting, but I'm convinced Fabian Delph managed to last to the end without ever doing much.
Yeah.
Fair play. Keith says, thanks a lot, lads. Always smile after live at 5. Right? I think we're done. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you very much. Hit the like button. It's lovely of you. You've been here with us. Have a little like button. Why not? Where are we? John Smith, excuse me, says the likes of Liverpool got their player reactions to their own ratings.
So, I mean, we can't.
Did you see?
We can't control that.
Did you see? Jude Bellingham was doing something for FIFA ratings, and Haaland come out and was like, "Get ready for training, will you?" And after all, let's have a go at him. He's like, "I'm always ready for training." Haaland was fuming. Come on, Ned. This is from Louis. Lad, DCL isn't an 86.
Yeah.
And he's an Evertonian, Louis, so there you go.
You're saying he's an 81 though?
He's about I had to put him about an 83.
You've had a
he
shock
is,
on it.
He's doing well,
You've had a shocker.
isn't he?
If anyone's like your gig at Anfield, you've had a shocker.
Liam says, now Starman has spoken to the rag, he's dug his own grave, burn him in. There you go. Right, there's a happy place to end it.
Can you find a happy place to end it then?
For me, Everton is dead when Messi... For me, Everton is...
I mean,
Everton is dead when Messi left them.
Oh, poor Everton.
Wormy Spoon says Delph would blind the targeting system with the shine of his head. I mean, that's a bit mad. Would he not be injured, though, to do it? He probably wouldn't be able to play. He'd just be like, nah. Louis says he's an 82, 83. Done. I think 83 is about right.
This is. Let's not back down to FIFA.
It's not backing down, but let's not be unrealistic. Some of them they put in are massively unrealistic.
Yerry Mina being less than Michael Keane
is mad.
It's just where I go.
Crazy.
Yeah, give me an Atari.
Pez is exactly the same. That's why you'd have to go and fix it. There's a terrible, like Luca Dean's like 78 or something. You're like, shut up.
Abdoulaye Doucouré should be about 83. Because Alan's 83.
I don't know.
Richarlison should be 85 and Dom should be 86.
Fair enough.
He's sticking to his guns, Louis.
Gray should be 82. And Pickford should be 85.
Your mum's watching this going, why don't you just get a job and stop talking about computer games?
Fair play.
Donnarumma is like 90, so Pickford should be 85.
Okay, we're going. That's enough.
It's a fair point.
See you later.
It's a fair point. Well made.